Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 74 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. Now in the last episode, we started building up our artisan workforce in order to sustain the 15 shopping arcades we have now on the Island of Swords. This in turn will allow us to max out the SKYLINE Tower at a whopping 4,005 investor residents. Today, we're going to attempt to supply and sustain all of these shopping arcades, putting everything in place so we're finally ready to build our skyscraper city here on Swords in the now vacant worker district. Alright, so at the end of the last episode, I just placed these down kind of almost at random, if you will, and only a couple of them don't have what they need. Everything else seems relatively sustainable. Oh my days, that was the wrong button to press. Wow, that took me down to Lusk. And it started spinning the camera. I pressed F9. That was a bit strange. I meant to press F8. That gives us a nice view of the entire island. Of course, if you didn't know, actually, I might as well just mention it now. You can set camera bookmarks. I think you press Control and like F6, F7, F8, whatever it might be. And then if you just press it, after you've moved your camera, it'll just take you back to that camera. It's a camera bookmark. Pretty good to just hop around various islands. You can set one for each island if you want. And then you can just hotkey around to them. And they work in different sessions. So if I was to go to the new world, I can set all new ones for there. So you can swap sessions with hotkeys and then swap islands with hotkeys if you wanted to. Just a little tip for anyone who somehow has made it this far in and still doesn't know something like that. But every now and then, these little things pass people by. All right, anyways. So the ones that are going to be trickiest to sustain are going to be the ones that are going to the Arctic or to Mbesa and things like that. So I'm lacking some bear fur, some goose feathers, and then I've got some over here where I'm lacking hibiscus petals, not hibiscus tea. Hibiscus petals, the beeswax and camphor wax, as well as Wanza timber. And I think that's pretty much it. Now, there's some pretty good suggestions in the comments saying, like, you could buy things from traders to help supplement things. And I actually do that for the Arctic currently, as it currently stands. So right now, in the Arctic, I have a trade route that goes... It collects a bunch of stuff from one of our local islands, but then it heads up Eagle River, goes up to the trader just to pick up some extra whale oil, seal skin, bear fur, and huskies and bring them back, because I was just falling a little bit short on all of those things. So something we're going to have to get to work on is, straight away, is goose feathers. You can't buy them. Now, a little trick, actually, for a lot of people is that you can actually build goose feathers up on the glaciers, because it's just, you're just keeping geese up here, I guess, right? They don't really need... anything else, I suppose. You know, they don't need a fertility or whatever. So, unlike pretty much every other good in the game, or animal in the game, you can build them up here. Like, you can't, for instance, build bears up here, because you need the fertility, sealskin, need docks, etc., right? But you could do it with the goose farms if you wanted to. So, I've got different places in mind, though. I think... I've already got a network of trade picking up goose feathers from various islands, but I'm actually just a little bit short. And I never fixed it because I actually didn't need to. Even though we're short, we still produce enough of the, whatever the product is, sleeping bags, I think, to keep people pretty happy. But currently we're making we're producing 3 tons per minute, and we're consuming 5. Now we're consuming 5 because we're consuming an extra 1 per minute from the shopping arcade that's now active. So it was 4. So I was just slightly under anyway. So what we have to do is build about 2, maybe even 3 more. So I was thinking this place is good. They cost 35 in terms of labor, so we need 35 explorers to get them working. And I noticed this island has a little bit of extra room for stuff, and it already makes geese. And I also noticed that this is at 4 out of 5, so let's fix that. Just move that over here, slam down an extra module, so they're good to go. And then we can put another one down here and maybe just extend this further back. This is a charcoal kiln. It actually doesn't need heat, so it can go further back and it doesn't really matter. So we're going to have to deliver wood. Looks like we're out. I'll just send this airship down to just go pick up some wood and bring it over. But we'll just lay it out now anyway. Alright, so this is, again, just to get some of the goods prepared for the trade routes that we're going to put them on and start supplying all these different places. So that should be enough. That'll be another 35 taken from here. Now another island I thought I could do it on was this one. Is it? No, actually, what's the problem here? Oh, they're sick. Oh, that's okay. They'll get better soon. Arctic Rangers on the way. I guess you can't deploy additional Rangers, but they'll figure it out. They have maximum range. Although this does say they're... Oh no, that's fine, yeah. I thought they were too cold, but they just have flu. It looks like they are cold, though. And these are being healed. I see. Alright, cool. Anyway, it wasn't here. It must have been this island. Yes, this one. So I noticed that these are full. And I actually produce way too much seal skin. I think it's like double the amount we need. So I'm just going to pause this one. Turn it off. Get back that workforce. And then I also noticed on this island that it's just not very good. The canteen doesn't reach the entire way across the island. So a lot of the houses aren't actually full up the way they should be. So I was thinking this area here would be good to put down a canteen. And we could put another goose farm about here. So I might just get rid of one of these. Move this over. There's heat there. They should have decent range. And then we'll just copy this over. Again, gonna need to bring over some wood and stuff. So let's just load all of this up. Maybe you can take some extra. I've got no beams. Alright, just do that. Make the first journey to the first island. Alright, Fort Worry. So we're back. So, this can go. I don't think it's really needed as well. And we'll just lay this out. And then once all the stuff arrives... And this will get automatically carried around anyway. Because we've already got a trade route for it. So that's going to be 2. And I'm going to put a third one down on our main island of King William Island. And I was thinking somewhere just around here. That's probably good. So I'm going to get rid of the timber and sawmill. And I might just get rid of the... Yeah, the wood that's being produced here also. So I don't think we need it. And there's heat that comes down here. So this is huskies. I might end up getting more huskies here in future. Instead, I'm going to build a goose farm just over here, kind of on its own. Do I need to build it back in, I guess? Might maybe make it better for them. As long as the heat reaches in, it's no problem.
Hope it's not gruel today.
I wonder, does it reach one more? It probably doesn't, actually. No, it doesn't. Okay. That's not a big deal. Let's push that back forward. And there you go. It's almost, I would say temporary, but it's not really. But I can't really do things for aesthetics too much in the Arctic, so I'll just leave it the way it is, even though it's a bit disjointed and weird looking. But I think this area is nicely saved for more huskies in the future. So that's going to be 3 more goose farms once we get everything up and running. Let's just jump back to our Red Baron, drop off some of that wood. That's as much as we can drop, so we'll go over to the other island. We can get that built. There we go. So that's another one. Nice. So yeah, we'll just hit this island, drop off the wood, and then that's 3 new goose farms, right? So that's plenty. That should be more than enough. Let me just check what's going on. I haven't actually checked this in a while. Let's see where we've got ruined buildings. Oh yeah, we had sickness out here. That looks like it's fixed. And that's it. That's the only ruined building. All right, not bad. So some people were also telling me to research Bruno Ironbright, or get the item Bruno Ironbright, so that we could get... Oh, I'll show you what he does. It turns out we already have him, so I don't need to actually research him. There he is here. Bruno Ironbright, Engineering Giant. Affects bicycle factory, sewing machine factory, and cab assembly line. Now, I actually knew about this guy. I think we talked about him before, you know, from people mentioning him to me. And I remember thinking, like, oh, I don't really have room for him. But what I didn't count into consideration was that he actually gives 50% productivity. Because I was initially thinking down here where we would use him. I think it was here. I was initially thinking, oh, I don't want to get rid of Ferris. You know, Ferris gives me 50% productivity. Oh, I don't want to do that. Because I thought it was more like this guy, Dario, which just gives you better goods and a replaced input. But he actually gives me that 50% right off the bat. So the only thing we're going to suffer is the negative 10% workforce needed. That's going to go away. And obviously the maintenance costs and the rides. But come on, that's fine. So I'll use him because we're going to get extra advanced weapons, which we don't even produce. And then we're also going to get extra steam motors, which is nice too. So we'll just send a ship up here. I don't know why that's on there. Just trade it. I don't even know where the ship is. Alright, so that's that. So we've got a lot of irons in the fire. Things are cooking. So that was build 3. So the other one was add bear fur to the Arctic route. I've got my list of things I've written down, of course. And sometimes I don't remember what they mean. No, yes, I did ask you to stop. There you go. So, with this canteen here, these houses should grow and fill that workforce. They're not going to demand this, are they? No, they're not going to demand that, so that's fine. And I think we've got enough pemmican to supply them just fine. Alright, so that's 2 different islands. So just for a bit of a zoom out, the small island of Fort Worry over here in the center of the map. If we were to look over there, that's our glacier, our first glacier we ever settled, Hopefell. And if we were to move over this way, because I know sometimes the radar is a little bit small for you guys. The King William Island right here. Over there we've got another glacier, and over there we've got another little small island. So that's kind of our entire collection of islands. We do actually have one in the far distance there doing our main production of whale hunting, our whaling as well. All right, cool. I love the Arctic. It's such a, I would play an entire Anno game in the Arctic. Anyways, so yeah, I think I think we're pretty good on that front. So let's start sorting out some of the trade routes. Now, I've got a trade route called Delicacies, I think. Let me just search for it, I guess. Arctic. Ah, yes, Arctic the Old World, Delicacies. And this is actually headed up by an airship at the moment, which I'm not really too sure why I decided to do that. And it's taking back fur and whale oil from King William Island. But what I'm going to do is basically get rid of this and reorganize this route. So I'm going to put some bear fur on it. Yeah, I'm getting this weird bug. I actually got this when I was kind of checking things in between episodes. I might just delete the entire route. It's probably easier that way. And we'll just make it again. Now, it's called Delicacies because it's stuff that we're bringing from King William Island, not to Lusk, but straight to Swords itself, because it's like all the delicacies they need for their stores or their, I think, you know, the restaurants and tourism and stuff like that. So we'll click this island again, King William Island. We'll click into Swords, load up our ship with some of these delicacies, such as we get a good amount of fur from up here. We also want that bear fur. So whale oil, caribou, bear fur, and now also goose feathers. I don't think we need sealskin back here. Don't think so. So we'll leave that. I'm bringing twice the loads of fur back than everything else because this is actually needed in other things a bit more. So we'll just unload that. I'll just assign one of those new ships we made in the previous episode to it and just let it do its thing. So that's going to be Arctic to Old World. And we'll call this Arctic Delicacies. Doesn't need to be called Arctic, I guess, but kind of themes it almost. Alright, and when we get the other ship, we'll make sure to unload their stuff. So that's that. The next thing is, this route here was never given a name. I kind of made it kind of quick. It's basically a Lusk to Sword supply of, again, delicacies. It's these things that are going to be used in all the different shopping arcades and that kind of thing. The only thing I think I need to add to it is wool. We have loads of wool on the island, but I don't actually bring any in, so we will run out of it eventually. There we go. And we have lots of it on this island. We pull it in from Docklands, I think, and we also use it in a bunch of different buildings. I think we've got different items that makes it so that we use wool to make fur coats. I think that's what it is. So we'll just accept that. That should be fine. I'm just trying to get my head straight. It's really hard to keep track of so many goods and all these different trade routes in my head. And even with my little notepad, I've only got a few little things written down, but even with that, it's still a struggle. So that should be goose feathers. That should be bear fur. So that's done. And then the wool is sorted. The next thing is going to be the Wanza timber, the camphor wax, hibiscus petals, and the beeswax. So let's jump over to the New World and have a look at the camphor wax situation. I know that, having looked at it in between episodes, I know that we need one more. We're just a bit tight on camphor wax. So what I'm going to do is just put another one down here and add a few extra houses. And hopefully we can manage that.
Hard to get up in Lama. There are a few things.
This city is a magnet for genius.
I think I needed 3, so I'll just, I don't know, leave it. Again, I'm going to reorder that at some point in the future just to make it look a bit nicer, but I think this will be fine. Are these houses maxed out? Yeah, that'll be okay. So with those 3 houses, we should be able to get camphor again. Got loads of camphor there. And there's actually space for it down here, so maybe we'll just stick it here for a bit. I would imagine there's probably other things we could probably, you know, clear up at this point. There's a lot of wood production, for instance, going on. And I do plan in future, I think it'd be a good idea to set up one of our 8-slot ships. You know, I can't even remember what they're called, but you know the ones I'm talking about, these things, the Great Easterns. Either that or the one that's not the Great Eastern, but the one below it. Again, the name escapes me right now. But use the one with, yeah, isn't, what would it be? It can't be 6, because that's the cargo ship. Oh well, whatever. I'm sure I've got one of them somewhere. I think I've actually got it in Cape Trelawney. Let's check. No. I want to know now. I don't like being super uninformed. There it is. The Extravaganza Steamer. Alright, so it is... So what's the difference with this then? If it's just the same... Oh, it's got an extra slot. I don't even use it. Movement speed 14 knots. Movement speed 14 knots. So it's just got one extra slot. Is that the only difference? Well, anyway, yeah, probably not that. Probably the Great Eastern. We'll set up a Great Eastern in future just to carry, like, wood to every single island that needs it, like the raw material, and pull it in through Docklands. I think that's what Docklands is probably the most useful for. I don't know. But I would imagine stuff that saves space, like all the farming goods and things like that, is probably what Docklands is really good for. And it's also cheap, you know. It's like you can get raw wood for next to nothing, I think, in terms of ratios. Alright, so that's the extra camphor wax. That should just make its way back down here, but we don't have a route that actually takes it up here, so we'll add this one as well. And I think I've got loads of camphor wax on the island of Lusk, so we shouldn't run out. Yeah, it's 2,000 there. So there we go. So this time, next time the ship makes this journey, it'll have the camphor wax, the wool, ethanol, sangakau, and the celluloid. Sangakau is the next one, as well as all the other in-basin ingredients. So let's hop over to Mbesa, where I did my beautiful cow farm. Let's do that. Now, Wanza timber obviously is just a construction material, so it doesn't really have a demand. It's just really about whether you're taking more than it needs. So if we have a look at all islands and we go to construction material, we can see we're producing 11 tons. Apparently we could consume 10? Almost 10? Where's that coming from? Where do you consume Wanza timber? It must be in certain places I'm not really thinking about. Don't know if it's down here or not. Let's just check. Not there, not there. Oh, is it paper? No, that's the old world wood. I don't know. Let me know, because I just can't remember right now where you actually use... I don't even know how to navigate the production screen to actually know, like, where are you getting consumed? 9 tons of Wanza timber. I wish it would tell, like, I'm sure maybe it does tell me where does it get used, because I actually just don't know how to look that up. Whatever is using it, it's all offline at the moment, apparently. Maybe it is just the... Let me just check something. That's every 15 seconds. No, I can't imagine it's the restaurant, sorry, the shopping arcade that's consuming 10 tons per minute. Seems a bit ludicrous. All right, anyways, let's set up a new trade route here. So I don't think I need to change anything. If we have a look at Tabarim only, sorry, not Tabarim only, but Mbesa, and we have a look at agricultural products. So hibiscus petals, we actually produce too much of those. We already produce twice as much beeswax as we need, and way more sangakau than we need. So we'll turn on all islands and have a look at the sangakau situation.
Keep you going.
Again, still more than we need, and the demand's not fully operational for the ones that don't have production right now. So that means really all we got to do is just set up a new route. So I'll just set a trade route from over here already. Tabarim, load up on 2 tons, like 100 of each, I think. So that. Actually, sangakau we already bring back in some ways, so I'll just add 1. Then we need the Wanza timber. Second go. That can just be the 1 as well. And then the other one will get 2 lots of each. Does that make sense? Not really. Alright, I've got a better idea. Let's go Wanza timber, Wanza timber. Agricultural products. Then we get the beeswax. And we'll get the hibiscus petals, please. This route, we'll call this in-basin delicacies. Am I spelling that right? Looks a bit wrong to me. Mbesa to Old World, except... Oh, you want to send it somewhere. Old World, swords, unload. Alright, good. I guess I could categorize this into the Old World. And just give it a name. We'll just call that... delicacies as well. Okay. So, I think that pretty much does it. One thing I know that I'm missing when I said about the Sangakau is that the Mbasin trade route is really messy and complicated, as are a lot of these. I know that. I'll clean up some of them in future, probably over time. Just do some overhauls when I'm starting to rebuild the city. This one's called Tasty Stuff. So the Mbasin to Old World export route has 3 ships on it, and it's picking up Sangakau. So what I'm going to do, but everything else, almost nothing else is made as much as like the demand for Sangakau, and actually stew, I think, as well. So the ships are always like full on Sangakau, stew, hibiscus tea, but they're never really full on the clay pipes. And are they full on everything else? Yeah, I guess so. And the tapestries are low. So what I'm going to do is just clay pipes and tapestries can be their own thing. And this can be just copious amounts of Sangakau. Again, might be super messy. I don't know. And then I have to make a route for, before I forget, clay pipes. Alright, so this is going to be then for the consumer goods of clay pipes. And this will just have 1 ship on it. And tapestries. Probably doesn't need that many, but it's only going to be 1 ship, so it's a long journey for them. Don't know what this is even called. Exports 2, I guess. Alright, so just need to fix these ships so that but they're in transit at the moment, so I can't really do anything about that. So what I'm going to do really quickly is just go into exports, tell them to pause, and then if we just leave it for a few minutes, we'll eventually catch them before they have their problem. Yeah, because they're in transit, so I can't dump their middle slots and sort them out. All right, I mean, I think that's it. I think kind of tempted now just to speed up time and see where we're at and what I've forgotten. So let's just go through things. I mean, I've set up hibiscus petals, camphor wax, beeswax. That's all sorted. There's ships on the way as we speak. Wanza timber is sorted as well, as is Sangakau and wool. And then we have goose feathers, bear fur, cherry wood is coming here in plenty amounts. Everything else should be fine, I think. Brass, yep, brass is even fine. Sangakau, celluloid. Anyway, so the whole point of this, as I've said before, is so that we can build from... We're up to 3,700 now. Yeah, it's pretty good. We're only lacking those 3 stores. So with all these different goods, I don't actually know what happens when we get to 4,000, because the influence is still 50. As soon as the building was put down, we had 50 influence. It'd be awesome if it went up to 4,000, you got like 100 influence or something. I'd love that. Because otherwise, I don't know why you'd actually try and fill up the building. It only puts more of a strain on your goods. So I don't actually know why you'd do that.
Care to join me
if you know what I mean. Unless you're just literally trying to push the number higher, right? You want to have a bigger population, which I guess makes sense. You want to do that so you can get more influence, I guess, and also just for people who want to do that. Maybe that's the whole point. It is an extra... It's all like... It's 4,000 in a very small spot, I guess. You're getting 100 more for each thing. So I kind of see how that makes sense. Just doesn't feel like a good enough reward to me. Especially considering you need 15 buildings to do it. But anyways, we'll leave it as is. We'll have to just wait for time to come speed by, or time to speed up. Let's just take Bruno Ironbright. Man, I really struggle saying his name. Down to this island here. We'll toss him in this area and see if we're all good for our docklands.
Curious.
Lots of penny farthings, no problems there. The productivity is not going to change, so that'll be fine. But what is going to change is the artisan workforce. So what we'll have to do is over on our beautiful island of Rush. Just going to let time play as well now. Maybe throw down a couple extra houses, because it's going to need about 2 or 3 more. And I'll reorganize this just somewhat. Although it's looking nice. I think it's actually looking really nice anyway. But I'll reorganize it somewhat and probably pop down the university, because they're probably getting quite close to it.
A ragged joy.
So let's do that. University. I'd said it was going to go here. And maybe I could push it back and make it look a bit nicer. But just there for now I think is good. Next to the hospital. The medical, I like to think, I think I've said it before many times, that the university and hospital often go hand in hand. I think for up here is the same sort of situation. I like to think there's medical students. Alrighty, right, let's just speed up time and see if I've made any grave errors. I'm loving this though, look at that. Not a, there it is. I was going to say not a change in that number, but we're seeing a little change here and there. The tourism seems to fluctuate a little bit, which I'm okay with. I'll try to fix that in future. But the goal is to be able to just hit fast forward, you know, let time go by and see that bar never change, ever. And people are, few people getting excited for the 1 billion mark. I think it was one commenter actually, but he said, I'm not even sure why, but I'm excited to see it. I am too. It's just trickling on up very steadily. 369,000 per minute, right? That's per minute, I think. So that's pretty crazy. Imagine that. All right, World's Fair. We actually never claimed our prize last time. Unique inventions, agricultural revolution, machines. Give me some machines.
That's the going price for contraband.
What do we got? Steel mounds. Brick factories, a concrete, 35% increase. Grandiloquent copper distiller. I'm actually using that, I think. Drinks production over in Cape Trelawney. And the long-range bottom trawl. Affects fisheries and pearl farms for 40% productivity and a reduced workforce of 50. Cool. Decent little items. Let's run another one, shall we? So that was science and innovation. Let's do archaeology and ethnic. I feel like I have everything, don't I? I think I have every single item in the game. So I guess architectural marvels is always nice. Tortillas, fur, gramophones, rum, chocolat. Got it all. I did it, Mom. I did the game.
Daddy's little place up on Mount Olymp.
Mount Olymp. Click to open the population screen, it says. I almost wish you could get a building that was like a shopping arcade that was a high-rise in and of itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, at least, maybe it's just a modern thing. It might not have been a thing back then, but I definitely know places where it's like the first 5 bottom floors are all just shopping, you know, and then like the top ones are maybe residential. I'm sure there's ones where it's like the whole thing shops, but even just in my limited experience in some smaller cities, it's like, yeah, you have like the bottom 5 floors of these would be shops. I guess they kind of almost represent that in a way, sometimes. It's just to double up on the space, you know, because it's like, oh man, I wish we could make 2 goods and just have the building be twice as tall. I don't know what would be the negative, like if you were designing a game, what would your negative be to that? It's like, okay, you're going to get this benefit of making 2 things in one building, but what's the cost? It's like it requires even more goods to do that, or maybe their population requirement is higher to do it. I mean, the easy answer would be just like, oh, it's like way more than double the maintenance cost, so it's like more expensive to keep doing that. I guess that'd be a decent way of doing it, maybe. All right, let's see where that ship is. Bruno.
On our way.
All right, we'll throw him in there. Which trade unions is it? Is it this one? Do I not have one? Sorry, I couldn't actually see that. Wow, that was weird. I was like trying to look there, I just could not see it. Strange. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to say goodbye to Ferris. Just left click him and then slot in Bruno for the same productivity. But then we're actually getting steam motors and advanced weapons as well. Now, I can't actually remember why I needed those extra steam motors. Was it for this building? So it never stops. Yeah, I guess that would help. Can make even more, So lacquer is full on the island, just not full here. And they're going out there to this thing. Well, that's not good. They're going all the way out there to get the goods from here. I suppose you could just slam it in there, right? Yeah, that's kind of what this area was for, but I guess they're not all using it. I suppose they just used the one that's kind of closest and free. It's a bit overkill, that, to be honest. They're not really being used. Man, looking over my empire of logistics. Feels good. I know it's not the most efficient way to play the game in the world, but I'm happy. I'm proud, you know, I did it. I mean, I was going to say I did it all on my own, but I didn't. You guys did help me a lot with a lot of things. I think I've never really been that into the items in the game. And now I'm still not really into them. I'm not a big like min-max type player, but I obviously have built my economies around them. Thanks to people telling me about the various items, just like Bruno, still doing it even today. Alrighty, how's it going? Has any stuff arrived yet? Yes, so this one is now producing. So that was with the Goose Feathers. So it looks like a decent amount arrived, maybe 20. 25 at least. Yeah. Good to see. So that's producing 4 poster beds. And that gives us a reduced glasses and light bulbs, 20 and 5%. Income per house, 21%. Now, obviously, we're only glancingly touching some of the engineer households and investors over there. But when we rebuild the city, these will be dotted around.
Look, there's flowers in the lounge. A beautiful vase, is it not? In my home, all fragile things end in shards. There lurks a black-furred monster when I am gone.
What the hell is this? What was that?
Between empty shelves, I see customers wandering, searching, yearning.
Huh, that's funny. They called them recipes. I didn't think they'd do that for the High Life. Because I kept calling them recipes, and I was like, oh, sorry, patents, you know? But it's like, well, obviously it is just the same thing.
My work is the love of my life, instinct over
SKYLINE
thought.
Tower.
You could even call it art.
The investors acquired from shopping arcades do not consume any other goods. Oh, right. So they're essentially free. Yeah. Okay, so it's like getting 1,000 extra... Well, it's getting 1,500 extra population that don't consume anything else. Huh, interesting. So really the building caps out at like 2,500 for consumables. SKYLINE Tower residents simply cannot do enough shopping. The wider variety of shopping arcades there are available anywhere on the island, the more the tower's population will increase. I still feel like you need a bit more back for it. I would, if it was me, not that it really matters, right? It's a very small thing, and I know it's just tailored to my playstyle, really, but I would have done it where each extra building you supply, and you supply them successfully, you get influence for it. That's just what I would have done. Not even saying that it should have gone more than 50, but I would have only given you 50 or whatever when you actually like fulfill. Like for each one of these gives you like, I don't know, 3, something like that, because there's 15 of them. Yeah, that would be interesting. Because otherwise you're just pushing a number higher. I don't know what else you're getting for that. But whatever. I suppose once you hit a different, like I said before, once I hit 102,000 population, I get 15 influence. So it's sort of like doing it in a roundabout way. Maybe that'd be harder to balance. I say these things very flippantly, but I don't really know. Dedication to Theodora's egalitarian future. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So I'm still waiting here for my goods to arrive. I should check in on them and see if I messed anything up. So we're waiting on the petals and the beeswax. So the Embesson ship. It's on its way though. It's full and it's on its way. It doesn't have any items on it. I guess that might be part of it. And some of the ships that I stopped earlier need to be popped back on the route, don't they? Yes. So this one, it's both of these, right? So we'll just take them up to Lusk manually, drop off their stuff, and then put them back on their route. Oh, it's the same with this ship as well, actually. Cool. So yeah, I think we're pretty much poised to start building nicely again in the next episode. I'm a bit nervous about it because there's so much stuff to do. And I don't know like what will be the episode it can't all be a time lapse. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but maybe I'll try to do some ideas and experiments during the episode as well as build. I've been looking through things, obviously, just trying to think like, okay, where's stuff gonna go? A lot of these artisans I think are gonna go over there. I'm thinking of changing where the tourism goes to be a lot more of a focal point in the city, like the Iron Schlong. As much as I like it, and I do actually really like it here, I just feel like maybe all of the tourism houses should be near to each other. Maybe not. Or sorry, hotels. Maybe not. I'm obviously thinking though, what I'd like to do is have some sort of nice docks like this, a big promenade that leads up the center, splintering off in all directions with various skyscrapers and then shopping arcades, little districts where there's maybe one or two together. We want to place some restaurants around. The thing I feel like is going to be quite difficult is the buildings all look really cool the way they're all like high rises and stuff, but then you're just going to have these pockets where there's like no high rise. So it's going to be hard to make it look like it fits, you know, because in reality, most people, when in a city, when there's like tall buildings, the shops just are at the bottom of the tall buildings, you know. So, but in this, it's going to be like, oh, you got all these tall buildings, but then there's just a shop, which is only like 3 or 4 stories. So I feel like it's going to be kind of tricky that way. But I look forward to it, though, at the same time. I always get a bit nervous about my builds before I'm doing them. But then, like, for instance, with this one, I was like, oh, man, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. And now I think it looks great. So I don't know. It kind of just comes together sometimes. But it is a bit of a bigger pressure one because it is like probably one of the last ones I'll do. Although people were asking, am I going to build still? Like I still have a bit of stuff in the new world to do, a bit of cleaning up to do. But ultimately, once this island is done, I'll still revisit it when the next DLC cosmetic pack comes out. But that might be it for the series at that point. I know this people are so kind. They're obviously like a lot of people saying like they don't want it to end and stuff, which is again really kind. I'll be doing other series. I know not every other game is for everyone's tastes, but I'll be playing different games. I think I'm gonna play Timberborn, just because it looks cute and fun, and I did play it before during the Steam Next Fest thing, and I liked it then. I was also thinking of doing some more mini-series, like Age of Darkness Final Stand is quite cool. It's kind of like They Are Billions. Maybe I should just do They Are Billions, as it's more complete, if people would be interested in seeing that. And then I plan on doing a Total War Warhammer one as well. But city builder-wise, yeah, Timberborn's the only thing that's like kind of up my alley at the moment, I think. Still waiting on that ship. God damn. I haven't sped up time just because I thought it'd be here like any moment, but I guess... What the hell's taking it so long? I guess just because it's got no items on it, could that be why? It's only coming from Mbesa. It shouldn't be that bad. We should go fetch some items though to put on it once it gets here.
Room coming over.
Alright, so these ships are here now. Let's drop off this stuff. And now they can just go back on their route for as normal.
Hold the crane.
Toss 38 tons of lobsters back into the sea. Chemical plant exploded. Okay.
A fire broke out.
So I wonder how everything's been going with this. I think it's been fine. Seems pretty consistent. This one's changing a lot, but for the better, actually, so that's good. It's changing because it's not running out of stuff, just because it doesn't need it as much. Same with coal and the elevators, so that's all fine. Caoutchouc I remember seeing ran out before. It seems okay now. I've actually reduced the amount and it seems quite consistent.
That's what I like. You're just a traveller, a guest, listening to its stories.
We are missing
So is
all
that
the
out now?
elements to produce a
Yeah.
reaction.
See, I'm not really sure why that's running out. Oh, I remember actually. Something I needed to do was set up a Caoutchouc route properly in the New World. Because there is one that does it. New World to Old World Caoutchouc. 2 ships come back with 100 on it. But you're only taking 10 and 5. What's going on there? Something's not right. Oh yeah, I remember. I redirected the Caoutchouc from this small island where it's mostly produced to this island. And when this one fills up, we should start seeing it again. But it was actually a temporary thing. I have to manually change something. So let me do that now. I think it's because they're only taking 5. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, you need to unload way more than that. and that should fix it. Because globally we're actually making enough. It's just I'm not bringing it here very efficiently yet, because it was just storing 1,000 up in that other place first. But now that that place is full, we'll see it. We'll see the trickle down effect come back to here. But it's important to have this building operational because we rely on it for so many other things: gramophones, pocket watches, steam motors, and advanced weapons. It's really interesting how my economy is based on essentially caoutchouc and iron. You know, you run out of either of these, then all those other high-end goods stop being produced. All the extras. I just noticed this ship is off the map. If you look at the radar, it's like outside the bounds, and there's another one behind it. That's my one. All right, has this come in yet? It's got to be here now, right?
Reporting in.
Ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-bum. Right, invest into old world, delicacies, and exports too. There it is. It's on its way in. So I'm just going to manually move it. We'll speed up time, and then I'll just make sure I can load it with something that's here already. I'm sure there's some stuff here for it. If not, I'll give it the propeller I'm using. Alright, let's just speed up time. This should be the final one, and then we should see the building go up to 4,000.
Cargo boat at the ready.
I hate the fact that they're using this instead of using this. That's just such a bother for me. Although, actually, sorry, I take it all back. This only makes 12 tons loading speed per minute. This is 20. Oh, I didn't realize it was so high. That's actually not so bad then, never mind. I thought it was like way, way, way less. But I guess not.
Aye.
Come on, ship, where are you? On trade routes. There it is. Alright, it's here.
Begin the turn.
So we'll just do the drop off manually first. We'll just see, can we pick up anything that's going to go onto it? Ships. So what do we have? Movement speed 25%. Let's just throw you in there just for temporary sake. I'll replace you if we get something better. I love the idea of a pirate going in there, and ultimately all they do is just move goods between places. Well, I guess it makes sense. You're recruiting them as like a non-pirate now.
We? None shall live who scorn the oath.
Movement speed 20%. I want something that's like cargo weight reduction. That always seems to be quite good. So cargo slowdown on negative 100, but it's only when activated. Movement speed and trade prices. That seems to be the best one. Cargo slowdown negative 10 and a bit of movement. Alright, I'll pop that in there as well. Loading speed 45. I don't need loading speed with this ship. Someone was asking before, why am I like decking out my ships with loading speed? And mostly it was for the New World. The New World was getting really, really backed up here. A lot of the time. But that's actually largely gone now. It was for two reasons. You know, one of them was that these were aligned with one particular good. So, and they didn't really need to be, I suppose. And the other was that a lot of the ships are just taking very long with a lot of their stuff. So I've tried to put on more and more things that increase that loading speed. You know, 45%, it's not that much, I suppose. Because we only get 4 tons per minute, and she speeds it up by like,
We're in the presence
what,
of a virtuoso.
1? So an extra ton per minute. Sorry, yeah, just got confused there. Actually, sorry, she does it by almost 2. I was confused. On a regular, it's because the regular loading bays are only 2, and the advanced ones are 4. But anyways. Alright, let's put this boat back on its journey. Off you go. And do we have 100%?
Pull up a chair. Make yourself at home.
It's funny you said that. It's because they were making chairs, I guess. Boom. We've done it. Nothing, no announcement or nothing. But there it is. A little bit underwhelming, but I'm pretty happy. We did it. I actually did it. I remember looking at it at first thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that with 15 of them. But it became a lot easier once we knew that it could go out in different places. Now, something I actually haven't shown you guys, and I'm sure people probably know, but you can actually go up this tower and go to the very top of it. So let's take a little journey, shall we? You just left click it, by the way, and camera pans up to the top. And here we are.
As a fellow investor once said, plant trees that others will sit under, and look.
That's a pretty cool view. We can see our World's Fair and the promenade that leads up to it. The bank, the busy bank. We can see Benty's absolutely destroyed island over there that Arthur has at the moment, and he never built anything on it. And we can actually just about see some of the orchards on the island of Rush. You can see Madame Kahina and her trade network over there. And what about, we should be able to see Eli. Yep, we can just about see him there. And then we can see Archibald. What a crazy save it was to have that at the very beginning, going all the way back to episode 1. I mean, I looked back at it, and I do sound like it's scripted, but I swear, like, I didn't know that this seed existed or anything. And, like, many people ask me for the seed. It's 1919, but I think, unfortunately, with updates, it's now changed. But I recommend, if you're trying to replicate it, change around the world difficulty settings and the island difficulty settings. That seems to... Because for a while, one of the updates changed it so that if you change your difficulty of islands down from hard to normal, it gave you the same seed. But I chose hard. That's why there's a river going through the island. But you can actually get rid of that river and still get the 3 out there if you change it to normal now. So, I'm not really sure, but it might have changed now. But honestly, it was complete luck. It was really crazy. Can we do a jump from up here? Oh, we're not allowed to jump. Can we jump off it? Oh god, no we can't. That's pretty cool. And yeah, we got to decide where this is going to go in our new build in future. It's actually even taller than the Iron Schlong as well. Alright, cool. It's nice to do that. Let's see if we can still go up the Iron Tower, because, or the, yeah, the Iron Tower. Because they changed it. In the DLC review I did for it, I like went up an elevator, and you can hear elevator music, and I'm pretty sure they took that out. Oh, it's here. Never mind. So it's cool. It looks like you can walk out here, but you actually can't. Right click maybe? No. At least I don't know how. If you know how, let me know. Because it would be nice to walk around up there as well, but I don't think you can. Alright guys, that might have to be it for the end of the episode. I've kind of done everything I've set out to do. More than I've set out to do, to be completely honest. Look at that for a bit of lens flare in there. Feels like I'm playing Battlefield. But man, it's been quite the journey. Quite the journey. I can't believe we've actually managed to do all of these different things. I was looking through the achievements just recently, and I noticed that I seem to have some sort of bug. It's given me like every achievement in the game. And it's only done this recently. Except for this one. What is this? Achieve toasters, crockery, and vacuum cleaners bonus for at least 150 residents. Crockery, vacuum cleaners, and toasters. Well, we could do that for 150 residents. Oh, I don't know about 150. That seems pretty tricky, actually. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. I don't really care about achievements, but I'm actually a little annoyed that it completed them all for me. I don't know why it did. You'll have noticed in an earlier episode I looked at them and they weren't all completed. And there's things that I've never done, like in the I haven't played the campaign, and the campaign says like talk to Von Malching or something, form an alliance with both Benty Jorgensen and Princess Ching's. Like I've never done that. So I don't know why that's changed. And I haven't run any mods. I've never cheated. I couldn't be bothered, nor do I have the time. But the campaign, my game file or whatever hasn't changed. So not really too sure. And then in Uplay, it says like, it says campaign progress 12%, and I've never played it. And then it also says like my highest population is 63,000. So I don't know if my account was like hacked and someone else played a cloud save or something and got all the achievements. But yeah, it wasn't me. And it's just kind of annoying because I was actually kind of keeping track a little bit of like what have I actually done, and now it's kind of gone out of whack. But maybe it's just a glitch. Hopefully it could reset and go back to the way it was, because I don't know if it actually gave it to me on Uplay or not. I haven't actually looked. But anyway, that's going to be it for the end of this episode. I think we've managed to keep it going, right? Yep, still going. 4005. Looks like we're fine. No immediate problems with the situation I've created here. I might just do one little thing as the last thing I need to do with the Arctic. I never set a reserve for taking away those goose feathers. I wanted the first batches to come out. I'm just going to set a tiny reserve of like 10. Just so that they always keep their own buildings going. But yep, that's going to be it. So in the next episode, going to start at least thinking about how to do this. So I have all weekend to kind of wrap my brain around what I'm going to get, or how I'm going to make this city look. And then in the meantime as well, I can touch this up and like make it look a bit nicer too. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for the series then, once we get these 2 islands done. All right, thank you guys very much as always, very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video has been copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that will give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.